Good morning. Pleased to see you. Welcome to the Better Business Workshop. It's Thursday and some news coming through, proposals for the pubs to reopen on the 4th of July, potentially. Look, bigger story, potentially hospitality sector, leisure sector, gyms reopening, potentially a really good situation. So great news for the economy, great news for lots of our clients, and great news for lots of you folks out there as well in terms of getting your businesses back up and running if those are sectors that you're in. If you're on and you're watching live, then please like and share this stuff. Help us get this stuff out to the business community. If you're watching us on repeat, then please follow us and share it again. Today's topic is achieving your goals. The whole theme in the last week has been around achieving your goals. And today we're going to talk about where's your focus, and in particular, where's your focus in relation to past, present, and future. And given what we've all been through over the last 8 weeks or so and the economic uncertainty that we're all currently facing, it's very easy to either spend a lot of time dwelling on what we've been through in the last 8 weeks or so, and also getting kind of a bit concerned about what's potentially ahead of us in terms of this kind of the news stories that were out yesterday around the depth and breadth of this potential economic impact. So I'm joined to talk about this topic today by my colleague, Mark Miller. Good morning, Mark. How are you?
Morning, Mark. Yeah, I'm a happy guy. My mates are going to be paralytically happy with the reopening of pubs, as most of our mates are. I noticed the Intercontinental Hotel Group have been talking with the government too about the way they're going to do social distancing within lavatories, for example, no buffet meals, individual a la carte meals, individually wrapped ketchup instead of shared bottles.
Yeah.
In other words, people are talking really hard about how to get everything going again. And that's the really good news.
Yeah. So lots of adaptation, lots of practical thought about how we're going to kind of get on and deal with the situation that we've got in our hands right now. Right.
Yep.
So, well, that kind of tees it up nicely. That kind of brings us right on to today's topic. So where's your focus? Where does the focus need to be, Mark? Past, present, or future? Let's go through the three of them, shall we?
Absolutely, let's do that. We're all a product of our past, are we not? It's very, very difficult to figure out how else we think we are what we are. We've got a lot of memories, we've got a lot of experiences, we've got a lot of family upbringing, and of course we adapt ourselves according to what we learn. And I think that first bullet, we won't go through every bullet in this, there's quite a bit here, Mark. We can send it on to the folk if they want it. But we can choose whether the past is something that helps us to move forward or whether it traps us because we're scared of making similar mistakes again. I really like the idea of anchors in this one, Mark. I thought you could jump into that one there.
Yeah, absolutely.
You
I guess
explain it well.
The problem is that we kind of tend to make future decisions based on our previous experiences, right? And what we know is that the future may not always be the same as the past. So we've got to be really, really careful. Look, just because we've experienced something in the past, that's how it's going to be in the future. Things change, and we've all experienced that in a very real way in the last 9 weeks or so. So the key is not to get too attached and make assumptions that the future is going to be the same as the way that things have been in the past. And that's what we mean by the anchors, right?
Yeah, spot on. We're built. If we touch the kettle and it's hot, we pull our arm back. We think, well, I'm not going to touch the kettle again.
Yeah.
So if we have a bad business experience, think, well, I'm not going to do that again. But actually, business works through persistence and through trialing different things rather than just being afraid to take action. So don't let the past trap us. Learn from it, and then start looking at the present and the future. Yeah.
Well, that's good, right? Because it's about adaptation. So just because something's worked in the past doesn't mean it's going to work in the future. And maybe that's a practical example of how we apply that. By the way, I can see there's a few folks on. Please like, share, make some comments. Let us know you're there. Where are you watching from? It would be great to know where you are. Let's get this stuff out to other business owners. So, Mark, if that's what we think about the past, let's skip the present for a minute and jump to the future, right? What's our thoughts about the future?
Yeah, the dilemma. All of the psychologists that are into cognitive behavioral therapy, etc., say exactly the same thing. We project a future based on being cautious about what's hurt us in the past. It's human nature. That's why we're so good at survival, because we avoid problems that we've experienced. The trouble is, we conjecture a future with disappointments to avoid. That's our natural way of thinking, is setting up a future in our head with disappointments to avoid. So people tend to move slower because of that fear of disappointment until they have to move.
Yeah.
The third bullet there is really important. Change the future away from what's natural. What's natural is caution about the future. Look at COVID at the moment. People are worrying. That's a phrase I've heard so much. We are worried about. Now, worry is setting up in our minds a future that's negative.
Yeah.
And the people that are successful say, okay, it's going to be difficult, but I'll set up in my mind a future that's positive, contrary to the way that I feel at the moment.
Yeah. Another one on the worry theme, Mark. Another way I hear that expressed is, it will be better when.
Yeah, yeah,
So again,
that's a good one. Yeah, yeah.
so again, setting some expectation that things will be better and different based on some plans that have been laid and some connection of one step to another, that if all of those things work out, then we're going to get to a happier place and things will be rosy, right?
Absolutely.
So great to use the future to think about goals. And, we probably need to be spending 20% of our time thinking about the future as the business owners. And, all of these sessions over the last week have all been about goal setting, right? But look, this is where we need to be spending 80% of our time, right? In the present.
There's a great, well-known author, YouTube, books. He's got a TV channel called Eckhart Tolle. If anybody wants any information, I was talking to a friend actually who's been reading a lot of his stuff. Very, very perceptive, and talking about how when we focus, a bit like mindfulness to some extent, when we focus also on stuff in the present, we begin to appreciate. So as you said, Mark, 80% of our time here, 20% thinking about the future, but the only time is here and now. So let's start action. And we've said this before, it's better to start action and then change action than it is to try and get it right. Because as you start to move and talk to people and do things, you learn. And as long as it's not a crazy jump off a cliff action, which we don't advocate, step at a time, you can always change and adjust. So live in the past now, live in the present now, let the past go, and start working towards that future.
Absolutely.
I like the last one. We talked
Yeah.
about this when we were preparing, didn't we, Mark? And I like that last bullet there. So I'll hand over to you for that one.
Yeah, no. Yeah. So, it's all about, the difference between intention versus attention. So, where does our intention lie? Our intentions lie in the future, right? So it's all very well to have good intentions, but what's more important is to pay attention to the things that we need to achieve now to get to that future goal. And actually, how many people, Mark, do we see that have really, really good intentions but take no actions to achieve them?
Yeah.
We see that an awful lot. People are kind of, drifting through, they have a lovely kind of vision of what the world's going to look like in the future for their business. They have really great intentions, but they're not actually taking decisive actions now. And, the only thing, as it says on that slide behind me, on that roller banner behind me, the only thing that counts right now is taking the action, right?
Yeah. And we have to be kind to ourselves. We recognize we're naturally worrying creatures.
Yep.
So recognize that, then look at the future and imagine it as being good. But then here's the trick. Break it down into small steps to get there. And a lot of people, exactly as you say, Mark, they don't get their intentions happening because they're still thinking of the big picture instead of breaking it down to, so what do I do about it today? And when you break it down to, my 5-year goal is this, but what do I do about it today?
Yep.
Then you can begin to make progress. And that's the trick every single day.
Isn't that the concept that a lot of the sports teams realized about 10 years ago? Certainly the cycling team did, the rowing team did, this idea of marginal gains.
Yeah.
So, kind of, if you improve an awful lot of things by 1%, if you improve 10 things by 1%, you make a 10% improvement. You can't just improve one thing and get a 10% improvement.
Yeah, absolutely.
So do something decisive every day that's going to move you towards your goal in the future.
Sure.
Brilliant. What a great session. So, folks, look, there's a ton more content just like that. If you go over and take a look, come and join us in our business communities over in Facebook and LinkedIn. Go and search for the Better Business Workshop. We'd love to see you there. You can also book yourself in for a hot seat. by going to calendly.com/Action Coach Milton Keynes. It's entirely complimentary. So if there's anything that's on your mind and you want to get a different perspective on, then come and talk to us. We're here to help you. And there's also a load of stuff over on YouTube and on the website as well. We'll be back here again tomorrow at 8 o'clock. So we'll look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Mark, where's your intention today?
I'm probably on the WhatsApp group to my mates, setting up a drink in a pub in July. So that's what I'll
4th
do.
of July.
Yeah.
Oh, it has a whole new meaning, and it's not about American independence celebration.
Yeah.
Mark, it's been brilliant to see you. I'll see you again tomorrow. Enjoy that planning.
Take care. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.